Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book Deadbeat by Jim Butcher, the 7th book in the Dresden Files series. I have been going much slower with this series than I intended. I started this series about 6 years ago, 6 years ago, back in about 2019, when I started the first book in the series, which is Stormfront, and it was fine. I thought it was okay, and I was like, I want to continue on with the series. And then I read book 2, which I just didn't like. Book 2 didn't connect with me. And then I read book 3 about a year later. And I loved book 3. This is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite in the series. It's tied with another book for my favorite. But I loved book 3, mostly because of one character, Michael Carpenter. Love this book. Then I read Summer Night, which was very enjoyable, but, it was better than the other first two, but not as good as Grave Peril. But it was enjoyable. Then we have Death Masks, which is, I think, tied for my favorite in the series. And then we had the other book I did not like in the series, which is Blood Rights, and I read that last year. And so I've been doing about a book a year, and it's not because I've planned it that way. It's just that in my reading schedule, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's been a while since I've read a Dresden Files book, and I'll pick one up. And so I picked up the book 7, Deadbeat, and didn't know what it was going to be like going in. And I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this one. I think that this is, for me, the most fun book in the series. I think that the plot of trying to find out the mystery behind the book, and the mystery behind the necromancer in the book, and the mystery of the zombies in the book was really fascinating. The whole zombie stuff I just ate up. I thought it was so delightful. And this book just has so many fun moments in it. Like, for instance, there's a new character. He's not new. I think he's like popped up technically, but he's a pretty decent-sized character in this book, and his name is Butters. And Butters is this guy who works, I think it's like in the coroner's office, and he's a doctor coroner, and he is just delightful. If you've read this book, you'll know what I'm referencing when I say this. Polka never dies. He was just delightful. I loved the character of Butters. Every time he was on the page, I was excited to see him because he's a great sidekick. He's an especially great sidekick that has no powers, that has no real anything except he's got some medical knowledge, and he's just a fun guy to be around. And so I thought Butters was delightful. There's also kind of a romance in this book with a woman, and I believe her name, I want to say it's Celia, but I might be wrong. Anyway, there's a romance in this book, and it was a really touching, I think maybe it was Sheila. Anyway, it was a really touching romance, and there's some twists in that story that I did not expect, and I was really entertained by. So I really liked that part of it. And then there is just, I won't give full context for this. There is something called Sue near the end of the book that goes and is like killing a bunch of zombies. And if you've read the book, you know what I'm referring to. That was awesome. I loved when Sue just goes and starts wrecking the zombies. I just thought that was delightful and hilarious. And so I really enjoyed that part of it. I thought that the build-up for the villain was really good. I thought that the mystery behind the book was good. I thought that it was a fun book. It didn't have... it didn't reach the greatness of books 3 and 5 of Grave Peril and of Death Masks. Death Masks had asked a lot of important questions, and then Grave Peril, of course, not only had my favorite character in the series of Michael Carpenter, but it also had a lot of great commentary about religion and about Christianity and faith. And so I really like those two for those reasons. This one is like a solid number 3 out of the 7 so far, but that's mostly because it's just the most fun of the 7 that I've read. It was 500 pages. I read it in like 2 days. It was a breeze to read. It was just so enjoyable. I could have read it in one day, even though it's the longest in the series yet. It's about 500 pages. And I think in mass market, that's where the series pretty much taps out, is about 500-600 pages. But it's absolutely a delight to read. It was so much fun. And so I had such a blast, and it's so refreshing after I had such an awful August reading month that in September I'm able to just breeze through these really fun books. So I really enjoyed Deadbeat. If you've read Deadbeat, let me know your thoughts on it, and until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.